Hello, welcome to the Bearded Tits podcast, hosted by me, Jack Perks. Professionally, I'm a wildlife cameraman, but I dabble in podcasting, and each Tuesday we release an episode as I have a chat with scientists, artists, filmmakers, and passionate people all about nature in a light-hearted and certainly not serious way. Hello and welcome to the Bearded Tits podcast. I'm your host Jack Perks. Now today I'm joined by Indy Greene, local Nottinghamshire birding legend. And for a very long time I've wanted to do the dawn chorus. It's one of those things that I've never fully experienced in a woodland. So I messaged Indy, said when's the best time. He said around about April, May, so we decided to go June because I'm unorganised. But we still got a bloody good show of it. I was really keen to be immersed in this sort of soundscape and also to listen out for birds that I hadn't even considered live in Nottinghamshire. I don't want to spoil it, but we do find or hear some very interesting birds as Indy takes me for a kind of guided walk around Sherwood Forest. So it's a great episode and I'm sure you're all going to really, really enjoy that. Now, if you want to support the podcast, you can donate to buymeacoffee.com. It's a £5, price of a pint. You'd buy me a pint, wouldn't you? So if you can do that, it's really appreciated because it's the only way that we make money from the pod. If you can't afford it or you haven't got the money this month, no worries. There's lots of stuff you can do for free. Leaving a review for the podcast really helps us in the SEO rankings. So wherever you listen to your podcast, if you can leave a short review, that is greatly appreciated. And if you can listen to past episodes, I realise that not everyone listens to every episode, but if you've enjoyed 2 or 3, chances are you'll enjoy others, even if it's a subject you might not think that's that interesting. So do go back and listen to other episodes. There's well over 130 odd episodes now, so I'm sure there'll be 1 or 2 that you'll enjoy. Anyway, I'll set the scene. It's very early in the morning, I've met Indy in a car park in the woods, and we go looking for birds. Here's our chat. Well, welcome to the Bearded Tits podcast. Today I am in Sherwood Forest at an ungodly hour, and I'm joined by Indy Greene. You alright, Indy?
I'm not too bad, thanks. Good morning.
What are we looking at? We're straight in. There's no preamble today. We're straight into the birds. What's singing in front of us?
Well, so at the moment we've probably walked about 150 metres up the lay-by, and we've got a tree pipit singing. So hopefully, there we go. Yes.
How did you describe the song a second ago?
Well, so the song, I first learnt this song in Sherwood, and I was taught it by our good friend Lucy Lapwing, who always described the end of the song to be, I think, like kind of like a cat. I think I'm probably absolutely mincing this description now, but it was how like the end of the song where it goes pew 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 pew. That was like a cowboy's guns going off or something. Listen. So that last bit is just the pew 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 pew.
I think Lucy needs her ears testing a little bit if that's it. No, I sort of see where you're coming from, and I'm going to have a quick nosy. I have to admit, I'm not a massive fan of the little brown jobbies, but
well, this is I'd say, I mean, it's kind of a stripy brown job.
Oh, okay, all right.
It is quite nice. It is. They are very nice up close.
I do struggle with pipits. I mean, I see meadow pipits and rock pipits, but I don't. This is probably the first tree pipit I've ever knowingly seen.
Oh, okay.
To be honest with you, so it is actually a tick for me today.
Nice.
So I'll take that. But we are hoping to hear a bit of the dawn chorus. So I don't know if it's a bit late in the year now. We're in early June or.
Yeah, it's sort of cracking on a little bit because obviously
it?
A lot of things are like nesting at the moment, so that's kind of their priority.
Yeah, of course.
However, some of these, the African migratory birds, they're still, some of them are still arriving, and some of them that arrived a couple of weeks ago will still be establishing territories. So that's why pretty much at the moment you can only hear tree pipit and a very, very loud wren in the distance. So, because obviously tree pipit are an African migrant, and they, only arrive here later on, so they'll still be setting up territories.
And that's my snooze alarm.
Is that your
So obviously I was prepared for this morning because I've set it for when I should have been here.
Brilliant.
Sorry, mate. And we're also here today because you've got a survey. You've got a bird survey, haven't you?
Yes, so I've got my final 5th of 5 surveys to do, which is like basically a woodland territory mapping survey. and that's just to establish the territories and the amount of certain bird species within the whole forest. So there's about 10 surveyors, and the forest has been broken up into sections. They've all got our own maps. We've been given a key of certain bird species to write down that are on the key management list, the priority species for the site. So we're walking towards my site now, so if there's a tree pipit there, I'll definitely be writing it down.
Great. Should we carry on?
Yeah, let's go.
Well, you're putting me to shame today, Indy, in spotting stuff. It's not a bird, but what have we seen?
Got a brown hare, just
Ooh.
about 50 metres away from us.
I think it's just buggered off.
It just hungered down. I know. Well, thankfully this isn't. It's
not a hare.
it's not a visual podcast.
No.
But yeah, the hare was just.
I know it is there.
I know it's running away.
It's still there.
Um,
We were just saying, because obviously we're in a woodland, Sherwood Forest. I always think it weird when you see hares. They should be in the middle of a farmer's field, I always think. But
yeah, you'd imagine so, but I guess I suppose, could this be a more natural setting for them?
probably,
Cause,
yeah.
The way the area it's just run into is called Gleethorpe Open, and it's quite it's almost like basically a woodland field.
Oh, okay.
So I guess maybe the slightly more open areas of the forest offer them a bit of like foraging and grazing habitat.
That makes sense.
Or maybe this is a quiet place to hide some leverets somewhere. Who knows?
That would be amazing, wouldn't
Yeah.
it? I suppose being early as well, there's no dog walkers and nothing
That's
like
true,
that.
actually. Yeah, that's true.
They'd probably kind of hide a little bit later on.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, that's nice. Something furry. That's brilliant. So we're just walking onto your survey area, and we've come across the major oak, probably the most famous oak in England, or one of the most famous oaks in England. And she's looking a bit sad.
Yeah, it's not. It's just sort of hard to describe. I suppose less leaves than you'd expect is the best way to put it, and I suppose actually a different colour of leaves.
She's a bit muted, isn't she?
Yeah, they're not quite as like the dark green and vibrant. But what I've noticed about the major oak is that it always seems to the leaves always seem to emerge slightly later than all the other trees. So I don't know if there's any reason for that. But yeah, I've been chatting to a few people recently who work here, and they were saying that last year with the drought, the tree really suffered, and you can kind of see that because a lot of the crown is just dead.
For people that don't know, the major oak, I mean, you probably know more about it than me, but it's something to do with. I don't know if Robin Hood would have lived in it, but something to do with the Robin Hood mythology, isn't it?
I hope there's no kids listening because your dreams are about to be crushed. But Robin Hood never lived in this tree, because when Robin Hood was around, this tree would have been nowhere near the size it is now and able for anybody to even go inside it. It wouldn't have had the big cavity inside it that it has now. But
You've just ruined so many people's dreams, Indy.
Nothing better at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. And it's got support systems around it, hasn't it? I mean, is it the council who run the tree, or who runs?
Well, yeah. So the Notts County Council used to manage the whole of Sherwood. Then the RSPB took over when they had the new visitor centre built in 2018 in October. So they've been looking after it ever since. And the council did a lot of things to try and increase the life of the tree. I think obviously the supports we can see here to keep the boughs up. Because obviously in heavy wind or snow or generally the weight of them, naturally those boughs would be splitting off, and that would then obviously open up parts of the tree and causing the natural decay process to happen, which is obviously natural, but for such an iconic tree, they've tried to keep it going for as long as we can for people to enjoy.
It's a bit like taking your gran out of a care home and taking a club in, really, isn't it? Like trying to give.
Well, the thing I often reference it to the natural aging process of oaks to people, because as they get older they start to shrink and bits start to fall off. But there we go.
Well, we'll leave the oak alone. We've insulted it enough this morning. So, Indy reckons he's heard one of the birds that we wanted to see or listen to today. So, what are we listening out for?
So at the moment, there's a distant redstart, and we've started the survey we're within the boundary now, and it's sort of at the northern edge, and I can just sort of hear the da 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 da, which is kind of this is kind of a really good version of the song, and this is kind of like, I suppose, the early morning one because it's a lot more high pitched.
Okay.
So it's just da 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 da. See if we can hear it again. There it is.
Oh yeah.
So you've heard that? Just
yes, I did hear that. Faint, but
yeah. Well, it's on the next track we're going to go. So
okay.
Hopefully we'll get a closer listen, or hopefully a view of it.
I wouldn't have picked that up at all. I would have just assumed it was just one of the general
Yeah.
birds doing its thing.
But no, there's other than that, it seems to be quite quiet. I don't know if the weather's having any impact because it is overcast, and I know birds do kind of like a nice kind of blue morning.
It's been a weird spring, hasn't it?
It's been a very on and off spring, but there's still quite a few characters singing. So there's a robin, there was a blackcap just then, a wren. I can hear some nuthatches, which sounds like there's adults and attendants of chicks. I think so. There's a lot of communicating in the distance over to the left.
Because we were saying redstarts are not necessarily rare but scarce in the UK.
Yeah, definitely. I'd say because in Sherwood they kind of have a little bit of a stronghold. The population kind of fluctuates here, but it seems to be not too bad this year. That was a bit louder then.
Was that it?
That was it again. Yeah.
Are they same family as robins?
They're part of the chats, so yeah.
Chats, yeah. Okay.
I'm probably getting hammered for that now. Probably isn't true, but I think it.
Well, I'll make sure to send all the complaints your way.
Yeah. So there's quite a few birds singing, which is nice to hear. They all seem, they all seem to be going kind of singing quite like in a slow melodic pace. Then it's not quite as frantic as when they first start in the spring.
Right.
This is more of like a kind of taking their own time kind of song, which is quite nice.
So if people want a kind of full bloom of the dawn chorus, you'd recommend a little bit earlier in the year. I mean, we're in early June now, but
yeah, definitely. I'd say probably like the first week in May is the main.
Oh, so we're only a month out then.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So the first week in May is probably like the main kind of time for it. But if you want to learn birdsong, don't start at the peak time because there'll be too much for you.
Just your mind will be blown.
Exactly. So kind of now or earlier in the season, when you have, I suppose earlier in the season maybe better, kind of March and April kind of time when you just have, the kind of the cast of the overwintering bird species that still nest here. The resident ones, sorry. And you can kind of learn them, and then as the summer migrants slowly return, you can kind of add them on one by one when you learn them. Or even now, with the kind of just purely almost the summer migrants singing here because they've arrived later on. But yeah, definitely don't try and learn in the main kind of core of birdsong because it will just be too confusing and you won't be able to pick anything out.
Do you recommend any of the apps like Merlin or any of those? Are they good or are they?
I've heard a lot of really good things about Merlin recently.
You've not used it?
I've not used it myself. I ought to.
You're too good. You don't need it.
But no, it sounds like a really great. It's a free app and it basically just tells you everything you're listening to.
Yeah.
It seems to be. It's definitely the most accurate one that I think that has been developed recently. But yeah, it basically tells you what you're listening to, which birds, and it will shunt all the ones that are currently singing to the top, so actually you can kind of learn from it as well. So it doesn't just it gives you a list of what you can hear, and you can leave your phone out in the garden for 5 minutes, pick it up 5 minutes later, and then see all the birds that are in and around the garden. But obviously you can hold it and listen to it at the same time. So then the ones that are singing will be shunted to the top, so you can learn from it as well. Which it sounds really great.
It is a great. I use it when I do the photography workshops at Attenborough because people say, "What's that bird?" I go, "Oh, let me just have a little think," and then I'll pull out my phone very quickly. Go, "Oh, well, that's a chiffchaff." I could probably work out a chiffchaff actually, but it's a very handy app. Merlin something. Cornell, is it?
I think it's about the Cornell labs.
I'll put a link in the description if anyone wants to find out. Let's go find this redstart.
Let's go.
So we've just edged a bit closer to see if we can hear the redstart, and we've heard something a bit bigger, haven't we?
Just a tad. There's a tawny owl chick screeching away. I think it's probably sat in that middle oak tree just over there.
Okay.
But yeah, the redstart stopped, and I imagine because with the tawny owl chick here, the adult will be in attendance somewhere. Oh, the redstart just started again, just over to our right. But yeah, there's been quite a few tawny owl chicks in Sherwood recently. They're kind of they've grown. They're all kind of at the same stage at the moment, so they're a decent size, but they're still quite white and fluffy. And yeah, most of them will be branching by now. So I imagine, there could be more than one over here, but yeah, there's definitely one ahead of us somewhere.
Because you sometimes, don't they fall out the tree sometimes, but you meant to just leave them. You don't?
Yeah, so I was walking through the forest a couple of weeks ago and I saw one just literally on the ground at a base of an oak tree, and it was probably about the size of a deflated football, and there was an adult quite close by and it was calling away, so obviously just leave it to it. It's best not to, because it is obviously quite natural when they can't fly as well, and they're bound to end up on the ground at some point. Well, some do, some don't. The successful ones just stay branching in the trees. But yeah, if you ever see them, the adults will know exactly where they are because the chick will be calling. So just leave them be. They'll be okay. They'll once they gain a bit of strength, they'll fly back into the tree.
Right, fair enough. Is that a grey squirrel?
I think it is. They're so difficult, aren't they?
Bloody grey squirrels.
So this redstart's still singing ahead of us. Let's see if we can hear it again. Yeah. Right on cue.
There's a bit more of a cacophony of song here, isn't there?
Yeah, there's a bit more going on. So we've got a wren. Oh, there's a yellowhammer as well then. So there's a black cat behind. There's redstart again. So it's the. Just remember, it's the. One more time.
It's getting drowned out.
There it is. See, that's the thing. That's the thing. If you do come when it's a bit too much of a peak,
I see what you mean.
You just cannot pick things out.
You mentioned yellowhammer then. Is it a little bit of cheese? What's the thing with those?
A little bit of bread, no cheese.
That's
the one, yeah.
They don't actually say that, but it's the sort of the...
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
It would be amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I was having this debate with people online about the best bird call in Britain. What would be yours
Call or song?
All right, vocalisation then. I'll open it up. Catching me out on wording, Indy.
You can't just do fish forever, Jack.
No, I know. I know.
I don't know what I'm thinking about this. My favourite vocalisation of any bird is a woodlark song.
All right.
Because it's just, if you haven't heard it before, please Google it. There's actually a great recording on the Wikipedia page for woodlark. And I've listened to it when I go to sleep. It's just, honestly, it's so beautiful. It's kind of similar to Skylark, but it's so much better.
Is that what we saw? Didn't we come a few years ago and saw woodlark?
Yeah, we did. Yeah. We saw them on Budbee. There were two on the track.
Oh, right. I don't think I heard it singing because I wasn't. I shouldn't say this in front of you. I wasn't that impressed, but but the song's incredible, is it?
Yeah, the song's really nice.
Okay, all right. I'll give them another chance then.
Yeah, because they fly up a bit like skylarks, and they all kind of circle around in their territory, singing at the same time, or do it from a perch. And yeah, if you haven't heard it before, it's just it's just serene and it's brilliant on like an early morning wander. Just hearing that is just absolutely.
I'll give them another chance then. I will give them another chance. Mine's got to be Ida, and that's maybe an easy.
That's so good.
So the reason it came up was because I posted a video clip of two male Idas calling to a female, and I was like, "This is the best bird call. Fight me!" and then a few people mentioned blackbird, which I sort of get, but I just think blackbird's probably more beautiful. But an Ida never fails to put a smile on your face.
Well, exactly. There's nothing that can rival that in terms of its similarities. It's so unique, isn't it?
Puffins are a little bit similar, aren't they?
That's true, actually. Yeah.
It's 7 o'clock in the morning, and the two grown men
We've
making...
absolutely lost it, haven't we? Not sure we ever had it. But
no, we need some breakfast, don't we? Let's see. Should we get a bit closer to this red star? See if we can get a view. This is VoiceOver Jack, and I just want to put in a little bit of a sound clip of Idas just to treat you all, because who doesn't want to hear Idas, and also try and work out what the fuck me and Indy are going on about. So we're a little bit closer now. Was that it then?
Yeah, that was it just then. So just at the end of that first call, there was a tree creeper that sang.
I wonder what that was.
That red star's really quite close now, which is nice.
We should point out we're not disturbing it here, are we? We're on a public footpath, and we're taking our time and being quiet.
Exactly. We're like you said, we're on the main path, and the red star is just singing. We can't actually see it at the moment, but they normally like to sing right at the top of trees. I think it's in one of these tall birch trees next to us, but. There it is.
It's got to be.
Going again.
We've got to be 20 metres from it, maybe.
Yeah, definitely.
Something like that.
It won't be far. Yes.
We were saying if you go to continental Europe, they're everywhere.
Yeah.
They're so much more common, and I remember seeing them in the House of France, south of France, not a house in France, in the south of France, and they were everywhere, just absolutely everywhere.
Yeah, it's surprising how it's weird because you wouldn't obviously there's so many similarities with the habitat we see here, and on the in mainland Europe, well, just Europe now, isn't it? Yeah, no, it's kind of sad, but it's also really nice to know that they are, there's good strongholds in places. So there's, the population's always, got a bit of a base, and obviously, UK woodlands are kind of, some species more than others, but we're slowly losing, these kind of smaller passerine woodland birds like redstarts, which is sad. But yeah, at least they're going strong somewhere.
What's the one Sherwood's fame? Is it willow or marsh tit? Or both?
Marsh tit.
Okay.
So
okay.
Yeah, there's very, very few pairs of willow left in the whole of Notts.
Really?
But marsh tit are actually on the increase in Sherwood. They've yeah, from probably about 5 years ago when I first started volunteering, they were kind of restricted to the east side of the forest, quite close to in between the new and old visitor centre area. But now they're in this section where we are, which is right on the west side of the forest, which is really great.
Do we know why?
So, not really sure. So I think a lot of obviously the practical, the conservation work that that's been carried out by the RSPB in recent years will have had a good impact. But basically, all they need is kind of some patches of scrub but just a viable nesting site. So I found a nest probably about 500 metres from where we are. Ooh, that was a variation of the Redstart song. That was turned it up a gear then.
It's going for it now.
Yeah. Might have detected another male in the area.
Is that what that would be?
It could be. But no. So yeah, marsh tits. They I found a nest just in a birch stump in a little hole they'd excavated themselves. So yes, they just need that kind of dead birch, which also that's what woodpecker need, which we have here as well. So
I was going to say Sherwood's a stronghold for those as well, isn't it?
Strongholds.
Okay. All right then. All right then. They're here.
Yeah, just about. So again, when I first started, there were 3 or 4 pairs, but now there's just down to 3 individuals.
Oh wow, really?
And, yeah, as far as I know, we've not been able to track down any nests this year, which is the first time since 2018. So they may have failed, but they are trying to find 3 birds in the whole of Sherwood is very difficult. So they may have just nested somewhere without us knowing.
I had no idea they were on that much of a knife edge.
You wouldn't think it. You'd think a place like Sherwood and the kind of reputation it has for like you say, like being known for a lesser spot stronghold. But no, in recent years they have just absolutely dropped off, and we just can't seem to stop it from happening.
Do we know? Is there any theories as to why that is? Or?
I think a lot of it is down to the land use in the surrounding area, basically being a bit too kind of not lesser spot friendly.
Okay.
And I think it would be great if the landowners here had a bit more of the kind of the outskirts of the forest, if they had kind of control over what's happening there, because it'd be great to have a bit more kind of scrub bordering kind of the forest, so there's a bit more of kind of a natural buffer,
right, which
lesser spots will benefit from in the winter, because obviously Sherwood's a forest and a lot of the trees are quite tall, but whereas kind of tall and old, obviously there's a bit of a mix, but in the winter they do need that kind of the short, like the younger trees for basically to feed on, so that sort of scrub, because I know people who've in nearby towns and villages like Warsop. I know someone who's ringed a lesser spot in his garden.
Wow.
Because his garden's like full of scrub. So
that's a hell of a garden tip.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it's definitely they need that mix, which at the moment there isn't. There's not really. I'd probably say there's not enough of here. But again, that just comes down to having only in with respect only a small amount of land and what you can do with it. But the RSPB has done a lot of management for lesser spots, which has been really effective, which is basically giving them more standing dead birch for them to nest in, because normally I think it's alder as well that lesser spots will use, but in Sherwood we don't really have any of that, so it's just standing dead birch, and the RSPB's done a lot of work to kind of create that habitat, which the lesser spots have used a lot to nest in, which is really good. So we've sort of done our best with all we can, but also when there's only so few birds in the forest, it's very hard to cater for that few by changes. So it's kind of up to them really. The habitat's here for them, because if they've been a stronghold in the past, then what's changed? But I also think, actually, last point, I'm rambling. I also think I think competition comes down to it as well. because I've seen it where great spotted woodpeckers have torn lesser spot chicks out of nest holes, and even in the excavation stage, just when the lesser spots are about to lay eggs. I remember during lockdown there was a lesser spot nest near the major oak, and I remember watching them excavate the whole thing, and they were just about to lay their eggs, and blue tits took it over.
They bullied
they bullied the lesser spots out. So I think competition definitely plays a part, because obviously there's not a load of science behind this yet, but this is sort of my kind of theory. Is that we've got so many more species like blue tits and great spotted woodpeckers compared to lesser spots because of like supplementary feeding. They've increased a lot, whereas lesser spots don't. They are incredibly rarely seen on bird feeders, especially mainly because they don't really leave their territories to enter gardens. So all the other species that are more dominant than lessers have benefited and have increased. So they sort of seem to be kind of outnumbering them. Obviously, there's no incredible science on that yet, but that's just sort of from what I've noticed. There's been an increase in those species and a decrease in the others.
No, I have heard that before. I think there have been papers on that where certain. I think Martian willet are an example as well.
Yes, willet is a great one.
There are certain species that that don't move as much, and they're being outcompeted by the higher numbers of great tits, blue tits, and etc. So it's an interesting point. I remember coming with Jack Badams here a couple of years ago, and we saw 3 lesser spotted woodpeckers.
Oh, nice.
It's only a couple of years ago, so if I'd realised the significance, I'd have been a bit more excited.
Yeah. But this red start's just moved over to the left a bit.
Okay.
The left of the track, and it's still singing away. So
should we carry on?
Yeah, sounds good.
Let's go. Well, this has turned into a bit of a red start hunt, hasn't it? And we've actually just had a glimpse of it.
Yeah, we've just had a sort of a very, very brief view of the one we heard singing earlier. I'm just moved only about 100, 200 metres up the track, and we've found there's another male, and we can hear some chicks, which is really exciting. So there's a big fallen birch in front of us, and you can kind of hear, I don't know if it'll be too far away, but you can kind of hear what sounds a bit like a wren call, like the sort of the chick, 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 chick. And that's the redstart chicks. So there's a male which we've seen in attendance. So hopefully, if we hang around, we might see them feeding the chicks, which would be really cool.
It shouldn't be too much of a shock, but that red is really red, isn't it?
It is really red. They're very, very vibrant, the males, and the females are the females are really nice. They look a bit like, I feel like they look a bit like a naked robin, because they're kind of all one colour.
Right.
So they're all kind of it's kind of like a nice kind of groundy orange, if that makes sense. So a slightly kind of duller in colour, but.
And they share parenting duties, do they?
Yeah. What is that?
I just saw that. Was that on that dead branch?
Yeah, that's one of the chicks.
Oh yeah, at the top.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, I can see it.
Oh, nice.
So
they can fly pretty well, can't they?
So, how are you recognising that as a red-started chick?
I mean, that's the thing. Purely because the adults are here and we can hear them.
Okay.
So if you'd have taken that and just given it to me, I'd have had no idea, because that effectively looks almost exactly the same as a robin chick.
Right, I'm with you.
But purely because of what else is here, I'm fairly confident that is one of the chicks.
Well, it's got a red arse.
Is
that good?
You can actually see the tail developing. Yeah. No, 100% red star
Okay.
chick. Oh, lovely.
So mum or dad should feed that in a sec, I would think.
Well, hopefully if it stays there, that'd be a brilliant view.
It would be a great view, wouldn't it?
Sat on that twig off the oak there, and you can still hear a couple of the other chicks. So there's at least 2 or 3 that they've fledged successfully, which is brilliant.
Because you will get them in urban areas as well, won't you? Do they go in urban areas? I'm sure I remember someone telling me there was one at Woollerton Hall.
Black redstart. Oh, no, is it? Oh, well, Woollerton Hall potentially for common redstart.
Oh, are they different? This shows my bird literacy. They're different things, black redstart and redstart.
Black and common, yeah. So black redstart, they're kind of much more. They can be found in woodlands as well. I've seen them on kind of the edges of woodlands. But yeah, in urban areas, like I know Hoveringham, there's a bit of like an industrial estate, Hoveringham Lakes, which is a sort of a site in Notts, and yeah, there's kind of an industrial estate at the back of where these lakes are, and yeah, there used to be a pair of black redstarts that just nested there, and again, it's just like completely it sort of seems so out of place, but they sort of like that sort of infrastructure to nest on.
Are they easy to tell apart, or are they pretty?
I mean, the males are almost completely black, except it's I think it's a bit of an orange belly, and they have a very, very vibrant kind of, reddy orange tail, like commons. But yeah, it'll be that black that'll be immediately obvious. Common red starts do have a bit of black on them, but not to the extreme that black red starts do. And if you look in most bird books, they're usually on corresponding pages, so you can get a nice side by side of which ones.
And black red starts are scarce as well, are they?
Yeah, they're also scarce. I'd probably say more scarce than common red starts.
Oh, are they?
Yeah,
okay.
Because definitely.
I did see something flitting.
Is that chick still there?
It's still there, yeah.
Oh, it's
so
still there. Oh, nice.
Mum or Dad, I mean, they don't leave them for long, do they? So
No.
I'm assuming.
Definitely worth hanging around to see what happens.
Yeah, it'd be nice to get if the dad comes in.
Yeah.
God, you wouldn't think it was June, was it? It's it's not cold, but
it's not warm either, is it?
It's not.
This is my kind of temperature, though. I don't know about you, but I cannot do hot weather.
I don't like it really hot. No. What was that?
What's that? If that was one, it could be the female, maybe.
Didn't see the red. It's on that lower branch.
I think it's a red star. There it is. Oh no, it is the male.
Oh, where is he?
It's on the ground, just there, flying away. Yeah.
I saw his. I just keep seeing their arse.
There we go. He's going up to feed the chick.
Yeah, I've got it. Wow.
Oh yes.
It's almost blue on the back.
Yeah, they're kind of a slaty blue, aren't they? Yeah.
Oh, that was awesome.
Oh, they're still flying away, going off to get more food.
Yeah.
Oh, brill.
Kind of nuthatchy colour, almost.
Yeah, they are a little bit actually. Yes. Yeah.
Oh,
there
that's
goes
the chick just gone.
There goes the chick. Oh, nice.
Oh, that was great.
Oh, good bit of action there. That'll brilliant.
Do. That'll do. Very satisfying crunch of leaves, isn't it? So, what did we just hear?
So just then, I think it's still singing, was just over to our left is a spotted flycatcher. So again, like I sort of said at the start, it's likely that most of the birds we're going to hear are going to be the migratory ones, and so far it pretty much has been. We've had some, great audio of tree pipits, redstart, and now the spotted flycatcher.
The wind yeah, I've got a dead cat on. No, it's all right. No, you're such a media professional, Indy, that you picked up on that.
But no, so spotted flycatcher famously has one of probably. I feel really harsh saying it because they're really sweet birds, but one of the most dry-looking appearances and one of the dry-sounding songs, because basically it's just an uncoordinated collection of squeaks, and it's just kind of that's literally about it. And yeah, it can just still.
It's still going?
Yeah. See. Yeah.
Oh, that is. Oh God, it is a bit shit, isn't it? So is this the one where the male's black and white?
No, so that's the pied flycatcher. So
of course it is. Yeah, that would make more sense.
It's the same family.
Okay.
But no, spotted flycatchers, male and female, are almost. I mean, pretty much identical.
Oh, are they? Okay.
So.
But they're not spotted? Oh, they must be.
Not really. They sort of have kind of some sort of kind of indiscriminate markings, I think, on their chest a little bit.
Okay.
But again, they're just basically completely grey, basically.
What's that? Sounds like some balls rattling in a.
Yeah. What's this? That's just landed on that tree. Oh, where'd that go? I can hear some more redstart chicks up ahead. Whether they're the same ones or not, I don't know.
We've sort of come away from those, haven't we? But
yeah. We gave them a fair bit of space because I normally the route we normally take goes straight through where they are. So we obviously did a big loop around them and just gone in behind them to where this spot. Yeah, male redstart.
Is that what that was?
Yeah.
I didn't see the tummy, but I saw the bird go by.
Yeah, he's just sat there on the branch on the edge of the tree. Probably go towards.
It's going. Can you hear it now? It's like a low. Really, this is where I should get the Merlin bird app out and prove myself right. But it's sort of like
Is it the?
Yeah.
I think that sounds like that. Again, that's either wren or redstart chicks.
Oh, is it? Okay.
So. Yeah. Oh, well, that's tricky. It might be worth waiting to see if anything goes to feed them.
Because they'll start more of an exciting call or something.
Well, just because we'll see the adult then.
Oh,
yeah. But yeah, that's true actually. Yeah, well, when the adults usually get closer, they just go.
Yeah. I'm like that.
But yeah, the spotted flycatcher's still going. But yeah, it's just that kind of squeaky sound. they are very sweet birds, and they'll kind of nest in little open crevices in trees.
So it's prime real estate, isn't it? Like if there's a hole in a tree, you want to get on it pretty quick.
It is. It really is.
Is that the red start there?
Oh,
male.
Looks it.
Yeah. It's underground. They come to the ground, do they?
Yes, that's how they feed.
Oh, okay.
So basically, like another good way of IDing red starts, they sort of do a very similar thing to robins, where they'll stand on a perch, dive down to the ground, catch something, and go back up to the perch. And usually, when they're feeding, they kind of sit quite. They kind of sit quite low. What's that?
I just seen that some small jobby.
The great chick there.
Oh,
But there was a chick of that chick's been called and just flew away.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, very distracting. So another good way of kind of spotting them when they're feeding is that they will often sit on a perch that's about like a metre or two off the ground. It's kind of a vantage point when they're looking for prey.
There's a red start chick
Have
over
you got
there.
one?
Yeah, just by. It's just
yeah.
I'm getting good at this.
Oh, that's the female.
Is that the female?
That's the female. You see on the birch
Yes,
tree? Just
yeah,
there,
yeah,
they're
yeah,
just
yeah.
flying across. That's the female, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, brilliant.
Oh, I spotted something. That's good.
Nice one. There she is. So that'll be red start chicks then, because she's very close to where they call
Would that be the same pair?
I imagine that's the same one.
Okay.
So, there she is. She's just on the. See the little holly there?
Mm-hmm.
There's 3 birches. She's on the lowest branch, the left one.
Yeah, I've got you. I've got you.
Yeah, there
oh,
she
yeah,
is.
she's just gone down.
Look, went down, back
Yep.
up again.
There you
just as I
go.
was describing.
You're not
So,
making it
yes, No, I usually do, but not this time.
Wow.
But no, yeah. So just that up and down. Oh, lovely.
Are they just as active later on, or are they more active in the morning?
I mean, when they got chicks, they'll be.
They're at it all day.
They'll be
Okay.
around the clock pretty much. But
Okay.
yeah, I suppose for singing, when they first arrive back, it's the main kind of time is first thing. But yeah,
Nice.
There goes.
Oh, that's great. Some great views.
Yeah, that's brilliant. So that's I think that's like you said, the same family. There's obviously some chicks over to the right,
Yeah.
and some chicks over to the left, with the male is taken care of and the female's got the few on the right.
So they're pretty much ready to go. They'll be gone soon, although you think.
Well, they are fledged. So,
Yeah, okay.
So
Yeah,
they'll be
yeah.
kind of developing their just growing a bit, and they get fully feathered soon. I mean, they're fully feathered now, but obviously they're the
Flight feathers
the
and
nice
stuff.
colourful
Yeah, yeah,
plumage
yeah.
will come through soon. They'll be ready to piss off.
I know the feeling.
Yeah.
Shall we carry on walking in?
Definitely, sounds good. Here's another. This is a really sweet example of haloing here.
Okay.
This little oak tree. So, like I said, obviously that tree, when in its prime, would have been massive, but as it's got older, it's shrunk. Bits have fallen off, and now it's just this, this skeleton left, but it's still alive.
Yeah.
So you can see some of because that's what they do when they realise that they're not going to have enough kind of energy to keep the bigger boughs going. They basically send out smaller shoots from close to the base, which you can see here.
Yes,
So the only bits that are alive are smaller branches that have only grown in the last 5-10 years. So then we've done this haloing. We've basically opened it up to the south to allow more sun to reach these leaves, and then created this brash pile so it doesn't kind of get trampled down, so the roots don't get compacted, so it still gets as much water as it can. But yeah, like you can see that haloing, so there would have been a tree there that's now been opened up, and that birch tree you can see there has been, almost like replicating storm damage, has been pushed over. So again, it's all kind of these natural things that would happen, but obviously we're just sort of enhancing it to keep these trees going.
And you were saying because oaks are valuable, that's why you're sort of doing this, because so many species specialise in living oaks.
Yes, I think it's up to a very, very loud goldcrest. See if we can hear it. There it is.
That
That high-pitched song, lovely. But yeah, there it goes again. But yeah, sorry. So there's basically, I think there's around 2,000 different species of. I think there might just be invertebrates that can benefit from. Basically, it's mainly the heart rot, basically the rotted down material in the centre of the oaks.
Like beetle larvae and stuff like that.
Yeah, a lot of beetle larvae. So one of the ones that we get here a lot in Sherwood is the black-headed and red-headed cardinal beetle.
Okay.
Basically, this bright red beetle with a red or a black head, and their larvae will live inside the heart rot of an ancient oak for 2 or 3 years, or whenever they're ready.
Oh, okay.
And there's some that more specialised. I know there's some in the Cairngorms, some longhorn beetles that can.
They're amazing. Aren't they,
but their larvae live in oak trees for so many more years than that. I think it's up to, I might be getting this completely wrong, but I know 20 years plus.
Wow.
So I think I've read that somewhere. So it's important. Obviously,
there could be larvae in a tree older than you, Indy.
Yeah, but I think that it just shows how important it is to keep those trees going. That might be totally inaccurate, by the way, but I have to Google it. But I've definitely been told that before.
Lesser stag beetles and things like that. Did you get them in Sherwood?
Yeah, I've seen them in Sherwood before. Yeah.
Well, we don't get the proper ones, do we? Unfortunately,
not stag beetles. No. But so it's just as I was explained to you earlier, this it's just the main reason why we're doing this management of keeping the ancients and the veteran trees going for as long as we can. It's because of the age gap that was created when well over 1,000 trees in the 1700s are taken out of the forest to build battleships, and those trees that were taken out would have been roughly of all the same age and kind of structure, which is a lot of the ones we can see around us now, these very tall straight ones, so they basically allow them to get as much timber as possible out of the tree to build these ships. So the removal of those trees created the age gap where there was basically a missing generation of trees to replace the current ancient oaks. So this strategy that they're doing is basically keeping the ancient oaks going for as long as possible by these minimal impact actions, by just doing something called haloing, as we've seen, which is opening it up to allow more sunlight to reach the tree. But another one that was, if anyone saw the feature on Countryfile about Sherwood recently, which was talking about the veteranization work that they're doing here. So that's basically artificially aging younger oaks so that it kind of instills the natural decaying and rotting process of the tree.
Oh, okay.
So that once again kind of speeds up obviously something that would naturally happen, like storm damage, where a branch would be ripped off because it had been hit by another falling tree, or something like that, or where if you imagine like a bison or something rubbing its feet or rubbing its backside against the tree would kind of disturb the bark. You just get the back of an axe and just hit the tree, and it can seem pretty harsh, and there's been it's kind of quite a controversial thing. But once again, we wouldn't be doing it, and it's been proven to work at other places. We wouldn't be doing it if it wasn't necessary. We wouldn't be beating up trees for the fun of it. It's just because of this age gap, which, thanks to all this work, is now predicted to be pretty much fully bridged now, which is really brilliant. So
I remember reading, is it Wilding or Rewilding by Isabel Tree? And she talks about an oak tree takes something like 300 years to grow, 300 years to mature, and 300 years to die, or something like that.
300 years to grow, 300 years to live, 300 years
to live.
Okay. It's a lovely saying that, and it's very true, because obviously the major oaks sort of kind of outlived that with, sort of on the right time between, I think we're saying between 900 and 1,200 years old. I think
that's how old the major oak is.
Yeah, but between that, that sort of time bracket.
I don't suppose you can really chop it and count the rings, can you? Not at the minute.
Wouldn't recommend it.
No,
wouldn't
one
recommend
day.
it, unless you want to be, public enemy number one.
No, okay, I won't then. So we're coming to the end, and there's a few birds kicking off.
There's a dunnock. So this kind of the short whistle, the just there. That's dunnock chicks, and there's the adult who's just come back. There's two chicks that have just kind of spread themselves out in this big patch of bracken next to the path, and they're calling just to attract attention, and so the adults know where they are, so they can come and give them. Oh, it's being fed now. So you hear
they're ground nesters as well, are they?
They're ground nesters,
okay.
or at least very low to the ground. So you hear when the sort of the calls increase, then it was being fed.
Right.
So it's sort of normally it's this kind of very regular. Well, you can hear it for yourself. But then when the adult comes in, it becomes much quicker as they get kind of, it's like, I'm here, food, and then they sort of calm down again as they leave.
Am I right in thinking they do some weird sex stuff, dunnocks?
Yeah, it's the, what's it called? This is, I want to say, was it colloquial? No. I can't remember what it's called.
They peck each other's bits, don't they? Or some, is the layman's term, but...
I remember Yolo Williams did a good bit on that on Springwatch, I think, from Ones in His Garden during lockdown. It's
you didn't get cancelled after or anything.
No, it was on the cusp, I think. But no, I'll be honest, I don't study dunnock sex, unfortunately. But I know
what
that
a
it's
shame.
Something that's well worth looking into, because
okay.
probably get some ideas.
It's something weird. Oh, there's a squirrel right a graceful. We need a few more goshawks, don't we? That'll sort them out.
I
They're in
know.
Sherwood, aren't they? Are they goshawks in Sherwood?
Not within the RSPB boundary.
No, okay.
But there's just too much people here.
Okay.
Which is fine. But yeah, no, they're definitely in the outskirts. I obviously used to have them by my house, just on the outskirts of Sherwood. So yeah, they do really well in the Dewcrease, this kind of area actually. Because of all the prey and the wood pigeons and squirrels and things.
It's
like
a bird and a half, isn't it? A goshawk.
Oh, to put it lightly, they are the best that has ever evolved. They're amazing.
They're just beasts, aren't they? Like they'll just. I think when you were last on the podcast, we were mentioning goshawks, but
of course, yeah.
they are just absolute.
They are
beasts.
brutal, and they are very thorough.
Yeah, they don't mess around.
Yeah, they're very effective. Controlling machines. Yeah, they're brilliant.
So successful survey for you. So your survey's ended today. We've got some bits.
The survey took about an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And very successful capturing some of those, some of the key species we're after, like the spotted flycatchers, the tree pipits, and the redstarts that we had plenty of. So yeah, it's actually much more, a lot more sightings than normally actually.
Okay,
Because,
I'm your good luck charm, Indy. That's why.
Absolutely, but like we said, it was sort of the ones we heard were those African migrants that are still singing.
Yeah.
So it's nice to kind of hear them back in the woodlands, which is really nice. So yeah,
And
great morning.
And you were saying this is your last day of college today, isn't it?
Yeah, today's my last day. So
and you're out up early counting birds. Good on you.
Yeah, I'll be back here later on. There's a big volunteer thank you event, so I'll be dawn and dusk at Sherwood, which is nice. But no, I've studied countryside management at college for the last 2 years, and today is my final day. Well, I say it's final day. All we're doing is go and just we're going to go to college and just play games and eat awful food.
Sounds great.
So yeah,
sounds amazing,
absolutely
mate.
Perfect last day. So it's a good one.
Crack on. Well, look, mate. As always, thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me. It's been brilliant.
It's been good.
That was Indy Greene chauffeuring me around Sherwood Forest. It's interesting because I'm born and bred in Nottinghamshire, but I very rarely go to Sherwood. I think it's one of those things you tend to ignore a little bit, the things on your doorstep. But I really enjoyed that day. Woodland is out of my comfort zone. I'm a river man. I love rivers. Rivers are where I'm most comfortable. So going into a woodland was a nice change of pace. If you enjoyed the podcast and you'd like to watch it on YouTube, you can do so on Wildlife Exposed TV on the YouTube channel there, where we upload all the podcasts in their full form. There's also my own YouTube channel, Jack Perks Wildlife Media, where I upload little vlogs, hints and tips, and wildlife clips. You can also find me on Instagram @FishTwitcher. Next week, we delve into my own back garden as I take you through a virtual tour of my back garden, what I've done to it, what I've done to encourage wildlife, my ponds, my wildflower meadows, back boxes, you name it. All the things you would expect for wildlife garden and a few things you might not, as I go through how you can encourage and help wildlife into your own backyard. This has been the Bearded Tits podcast. I've been your host, Jack Perks, and I'll see you next Tuesday. Cheers.